Yeah, she'd see it by glove. Welcome to this month's episode of the Sunlit Era.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about mental health and other issues you might have or experience. So, Patricia,
Yeah.
do you have any problems?
Don't we all?
We don't have
all?
time for that. Alice, what
Okay.
about you?
Well, what about you, Nick?
We can't unpack that right now. There's too much. Klaus, what about you?
Now I'm fine, but I guess everybody has had some kind of issues. Yeah.
So,
What are you thinking, huh?
I don't know. Probably gonna buy something after school.
Are you though? Are
No.
you?
The life of being broke.
Oh no. Well, basically, today's episode is gonna be all about mental health tips,
Problems.
problems.
We're gonna
and-
share our experiences.
Yeah, how to solve them. We're gonna talk about our problems. Yeah, we have a lot of those.
A disclaimer before we start. In case you do have any serious mental health issues, please contact a specialist who can actually help you.
Yeah, today's episode is just for fun.
A bit serious, but mostly fun.
Yeah, we're trying to make serious issues a bit lighter.
Yeah.
So, Alice and Klaus,
Yes.
do you want to start today's episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. So we will start with a story from a girl who sent it in anonymously. Her name is Sarah. And so it's her story with anxiety and panic disorder. So, what if I'll be like this forever? What if I will never be able to drink alcohol again or just some sodas? What if I will never be able to travel? What if I won't be able to study and go to places where there are a lot of people around? It's so weird to remember what my life was like before all of this. I was normal. Well, the signs were always there, but I never knew they would turn out like this. That one stupid night, I made the worst decision I've ever made. I smoked a joint. It wasn't the first time, but I guess I hadn't gotten over my travel anxiety from a bit over a month ago. It destroyed my life and still continues to do so.
I had the first real panic attack that night in the worst place, in a high school party with cute boys. I made my friends worry and myself feel like crap for disturbing their night. I called my mom and said that I didn't feel well. My parents came to pick me up, and thanks to two of my friends, I was still alive and somehow still breathing when they arrived. I'm still so very thankful for them not making me feel horrible, although I was so ashamed after, but they didn't make me feel that way. On my way home, the window was open and I was shaking my hands and trying really hard not to let myself stop breathing, because it felt like if I lose control for just a second, I'm not gonna make it back home. Then I was back at home. I changed my clothes, although my head felt like fuzzy and I couldn't comprehend my actions. I tried laying down, but it didn't work. I tried sitting up, and it didn't work either. I was in the state of feeling completely out of place.
I can't explain it, but I don't want anyone to know what that feels like, because knowing that feeling means experiencing it, and I don't want that for anyone. I managed to lay down, but there were these thoughts of, I'm never going to feel okay, I'm going to die, I can't swallow, what's happening, I'm going to die. These are not my hands, why are my legs shaking, my heart is going to stop. There were 1,000 of thoughts and more inside my head at that moment. I couldn't fall asleep for a couple of hours that night, and when I finally did, I didn't dream.
After a while, I felt okay again. I wasn't able to go to school for about a week again, and my psychiatrist prescribed me stronger medications. I wasn't able to walk straight for a while after that. It changed something in my brain, at least that's what I think, because till this day I sometimes catch myself not being able to walk straight. When cars pass by, or even worse, a train, I feel like I'm going to fall. It's all so weird, but it's so common. There are so many people who live with this, and I'm one of them. It's hard for me to make plans, to decide on something, or to just live like a normal human. I can't hang out with my friends when I want to. I can't read what I want to because it can trigger something in me and I'll feel sick again. I'm still managing.
Yeah, so this story, it teaches you that smoking and doing drugs is really, really bad. Even if you don't think so, and if you've done that before, one try could just make your life fall apart.
And this is why we need to talk about these kinds of problems, so people would know what are the consequences to not even like try doing things like that.
Exactly.
Well, what I can gather from this is anxiety is not fun. And speaking from personal experience, I can also say that like every time a car passes by and goes like a little bit too loudly, I have like this feeling inside like, is the car coming at me? Like what's going to happen? Like, you know, a little bit of like worrying, and
It's basically just fighting with your mind all the time.
Like the intrusive thoughts that were mentioned in the story, those are also not fun.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But well, in order to like fight with those thoughts, it's something I've been doing in therapy. Because therapy is good for you. You can do like a lot of those exercises. There's the exercise about the 5 senses. I don't remember it, but you can Google. And then there's the thing that I do, which is just like trying to logically think about those intrusive thoughts. Like, come on, is that really going to happen? Like, what are the chances of that? Like, that can't happen. It's not going to happen. Like, just stop. And well, in some cases, it doesn't work. Because those thoughts, they're like persistent. They're like those people who go to stores and they're like, no, I saw this price, it's $2.99. I'm going to buy it for $2.99. I'm not going to pay $3.99. And those thoughts are like exactly that annoying. They just don't stop. So that's why you got to distract yourself.
Yeah. Well, from my experience, like the biggest problems occur like for me in the summer break, like especially in August. I think it's because then you're less sociable, and when you go back to school, then you like meet your classmates, and then the fun little routine begins, which can also be a bit stressful, but it helps you keep your thoughts away from things you shouldn't think about.
Yeah, but routine isn't always like fun. And
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it is good.
It is good, but when you get stuck in it, it's not good again.
But I think it's better than being like alone in a routine.
Yeah, at least you know that you have to come to school or come to work or do something. Yeah.
Yeah, and for some people with anxiety, it's better to keep a certain routine, because if you go out of that routine and stay home for like a few days or a week, it's really difficult to go back and start doing those things again that you were used to doing all the time. It's really hard.
I saw it interesting how, Nick, for you, it's so easy to open up about your problems, but it isn't always easy to say to people how you actually feel or what goes inside of your mind. How can you do that so easily?
I was like a closed off person for like 3 years. And then I came to our class and I ran for the school president.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was super anxious about it. I was super anxious before like the debates. And like in the debates, like you're on this platter and everybody knows everything about you. And that's, at that time, it was a terrible feeling, like, yeah. But now it's like, well, everyone knows everything about me, so like, I don't have anything to lose. So let's just say, for example, if there was someone sitting at like the second floor and they were like doing nothing, and I was like, cool, do you want to hear about my problems? And I just talk about my problems. But for some people, it's not easy to open up. And that's a yikes for me.
Yeah. Well, but what should you do as a friend when your friend opens up to you about their issues?
Obviously, you should listen. That's the first case. Second of all, it's a really fine line between giving tips and just being annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Because like giving tips is like, oh, you know, there's like this method you could try. It could help. And there's this thing you could do. And the other one's like, oh yeah, I had that. I had it like way worse than you. Like, you can't relate to me. I'm doing way worse than you. I did that. It's really helpful. You should do that. Like, no. There are different things that work for different people.
Yeah, but there's like these Instagram stories and posts about like self-care and stuff. Do they really work? Like all these methods?
Well, for me, like when I see like a message just like, be who you are, trust yourself, and like believe in yourself. Those things are like, I mean,
it's like these believe in yourself, live, laugh. Yeah,
Oh,
it's like old mom thing to do actually, and personally I find these things annoying on Instagram. I know it's for good purpose, but like I find them so annoying when I see a post, believe in yourself, or I see a tattoo with, like someone has tattooed, I don't know, like be confident on yourself, on themselves. It's like, you know, like
it doesn't really work. Yeah, I usually call those people out. I'm like, no, you don't just say, oh, be confident. Don't doubt. Just be confident. And for like someone who's anxious, it's like, how? What do you mean confident? What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a language? Can I learn it? Where? When? How?
Do you guys find it annoying also, or no?
Well, I think there are worse things. For example, Twitter threads, like those.
Oh yeah, those things.
Yeah, which suggests you drink water, stay hydrated, and
yeah, like water is gonna solve all your problems.
Yeah, and that's basically all.
And you, Klaus?
Well, yeah, there are like I think elderly people who are like, you say I'm sad, and they're like, don't be sad.
Yeah, just get yourself together.
It doesn't help me.
And then they're like, oh, in my times we had a war. You don't have a war. You can't be sad.
You don't have anything to be sad about, or you didn't
have time to be sad.
Yeah, we had a war. I was on the fields. I was working on the fields. I was cleaning up grass every day. You cannot relate to my pain. Those are the type of people I talked about who go like, oh, you can't relate. Like, I did way worse. Like, it's like saying if someone broke a finger and they're complaining like, ow, my finger hurts. It's like, and they have a person next to them who's like got all of their bones broken. It's like saying, oh, that person has all of their bones broken. Don't complain. But like, your finger is still broken.
And it
hurts.
still hurts, yeah.
But
this thing with old people saying that, oh, we had war, we worked, and all these things. Maybe these were like just distractions. Like mental issues have been there always. It's not like a new thing that has been discovered now. So maybe it's just a way they get distracted. Well, not saying with war, that is like out of context, but like with working and
with having like a routine and having other worries, like you just didn't have time to like think, because that's where like most of mental health problems show up. It's like, well, they're in your mind.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like,
and now at the time that we have social media or internet, for the fact, we can Google it up, like the symptoms, and we kind of can guess what we have or what we're experiencing.
Yeah, like if we see a post and it's like about anxiety and you're like, haha, I do that. And then you're like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, but that's also a problem with self-diagnosis, because that's unhealthy. And I think you should always seek professional help. Yeah.
As we mentioned before.
Yes.
Yes, and if you see yourself in those problems that are listed in, for example, anxiety or things like that, you should really consider getting help, at least from friends or family in the beginning. And then if you think it's serious, then you should get professional help. Yeah.
But then again, there's this problem about opening up to someone. Like, for example, it's not easy for me to go up to my mom and say, hey, Mom, I feel sad. Like, how can you go seek professional help if you can't even, like, go up to your parents about these problems?
That's the thing about therapy. You have to find a therapist who you're comfortable with.
Yeah, and the saddest part is that there are still people who think like having a mental issue is like trendy in this century.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just awful.
It's not trendy. We're just informed.
Mm-hmm.
So should we move on to our next segment? Which is my segment. And it's about how the weather can affect your mood and your mental state. Well, it's nothing that interesting, actually, because we all know that when it's rainy or gloomy out, we tend to become sad.
Yeah, I feel like being in a Taylor Swift video where it's like raining and I'm like crying.
Yeah, that thing. And actually, it's like that's the thing, that the sun makes us happier, rain makes us feel more sad. But speaking of opening up about our problems, I've experienced this quite a lot. And living here in Latvia, it's like not easy to deal with this, because almost every day here is gray.
Yeah.
Or we have rain, or is it cloudy, windy?
And we don't even have snow.
And we don't even have snow.
It melted away from our sadness.
Yeah.
Not really, though.
Yeah, and it's like actually the winter time, when it's supposed to be winter, like December, November, January. For me, these are like the hardest times for myself. I call them the empty times because they're like, you're just existing. You're not feeling anything quite particular. You're just existing. You're just doing your routine, going to school, studying, then coming back home, more studying, going to sleep, wake up, go to school, blah, 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 the same thing over and over again. So, yeah. But there is always ways to stop this, right? Like,
yeah, you can just change the weather. Come on.
Yeah. If you have a problem, fix it. And I actually found that there is like this thing called light therapy, like actual light therapy.
Oh, I've read about. I think the color blue is like supposed to make you feel calmer and.
Yeah, like that, and for yourself, if you can change up your room, like make it all lighter with lights, and I don't know, like color the walls yellowish.
Yeah. For example, I know about two colors. Red makes you anxious.
Yep.
And blue makes you calm.
That's the thing, and actually, like introvert activities like watching the TV or I don't know, like reading a book or just sitting under a blanket actually can help with this sad feeling. And also exercises can be fun sometimes. They can make your mood lighten up.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, you know what makes my mood light up?
Taylor
When I
Swift.
shave my legs.
I was so close, but I wasn't.
But also that helps, yeah.
And the thing that Klaus said, that when you don't socialize, that makes things worse. So you always need to be around people.
I watched a TED Talk about this. In like times before, you know, centuries and like years, people were more happy and they felt better because, and here's the fun part, they worked more together. Like they didn't really have time to be alone because they lived in society where everyone had to do something, like growing plants, someone is hunting, someone is feeding the babies. They all had something to do and they did it together. But today in our world, people can just like be alone. And that's
On their phones, on the internet.
yeah, and they spend the time alone without like other people around them. So that's like one of the causes.
Yeah, it's no fun actually, being all alone. You get like, I don't even know if I want to explain that feeling.
I'm pretty sure if someone's listening and they've experienced this, well, you know where we're talking about this.
Yeah. Actually, like going outside, even on these gray days or like when it's raining, light rain or something, you can always go out for a walk because even little bits of sunlight can help. So that's why springtime is my favorite time of the year, because everything is blooming again and like the sun is shining.
You know why I hate
more.
spring?
Allergies?
Yeah.
I don't have those, so yay for me.
Yay.
And sad for you. Yeah, so, but actually this winter, it's like, it's kind of weird because the winter started early and it's like...
Yeah, it's like a song on Spotify. It starts, you don't know what
actually,
it is.
Wait, no. Like the winter hasn't even like actually started. Like it's like this autumn
We just
period.
skipped.
Yeah, like boop. So yeah, so I don't know. Some days I feel really, really down because it's like the weather is like and actually the fun thing is, oh hi
It's
Anna.
Anna.
Hi.
That's the fun thing.
That's the fun thing. Anna is here, and are you ready? Yes.
Anna is ready. She's in for a surprise.
Well, Anna is actually one of the smartest people here in this room. Yes.
Right after me.
Oh. Play the music. And Anna will probably educate you more than we will. So, Anna, come right up. Yeah, just switch places. It's okay.
It's okay. The chairs move.
Yeah, the chairs move. Hi. Hello, Anna.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So, how are you guys today?
We just talked about how I'm feeling sad because the weather is bad.
We're existing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel you like.
See? It's true. And I'm not just crazy. It's true.
Sure,
Yeah.
Patricia.
Oh, come on. Not on here. At least not on here, okay?
So, what did I miss?
You missed a wonderful story.
A wonderful
A
story.
wonderful story that Alice and Klaus told us. Do you want to explain to Anna?
Well, it was about not doing some things like smoking a joint that can occur, that may lead to bigger problems. And we also discussed like it's good to talk about this kind of things so other people wouldn't get in the same trouble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So as you already told, that I will educate you on some kind of.
We are ready.
Yeah, you're ready?
We spoiled the surprise.
No, it's okay. It's just fine.
Did we? I don't even know the surprise, so this is gonna be fun. Okay, Anna.
I don't
go.
know the surprise either.
So,
Anna, you gotta have a surprise.
Okay, so as you guys already know, I'm making a youth exchange about mental health, so I'm really digging into that kind of field. So today I'm gonna just talk about things that will affect our mental health and well-being. So if you have something to say and interrupt me, go ahead. It's
Great.
because there's a lot of tea that needs to be spilled. So first thing that I want to talk about is the perfectionism. Like, we all kind of have this perfectionism in our minds that we need to do everything perfect, and if not, something happens, we're just being down. So yeah, one of the main things is that we are lying to ourselves because we are thinking, oh, I didn't do it perfect, so I'm bad person, or someone will see us not as good as we think. So what do you think about that one?
I do that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
admit-
can speak.
You can speak, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, as you said, like, everybody wants to do the best they can. And, like, my horoscope also says, like, I won't do big stuff in order, like, not to make other people make sad, down. Yeah. And I can see that every day in myself.
Yeah, that's the biggest, I think, reasons why people burn out and get overworked, because they have this thought in their minds, if I'm not gonna be perfect, I will not succeed in my life. That's
Actually-
not the purpose.
Like,
I think about that like every day.
I just thought about me and Nick about this because we do a lot of projects together and
Oh,
like
yeah.
a lot of schoolwork
And yeah,
together.
Patricia's always like, we have to do it. I'm like, why?
And I'm like, we have to do this perfectly. Like, we gotta do this like this, not like this. And
And I'm
that's
just
how.
like,
That's why we get the good grades. Come on, Nick. Think about
what
it.
do you mean the good grades? We get like a 7.
It's at teacher lit lessons.
Shh,
Okay.
no, confidential information.
But that's
It doesn't work
true.
like
But like when you're like one of the best, I think, examples as you're working. So as you said, you're taking more time to do the things perfectly.
Yeah.
So if you want something, you will work and work and work till it will be perfect in your mind. So it doesn't mean that in next mind it will be also perfect.
And next mind it's like, I'm just gonna write this sentence. Yeah. Submit. That's it.
But that's really great. So we
That's
have
perfect for you, but not perfect for me.
Yeah, we need growth. So
Do
And-
we?
we do.
Yes, listen to Anna. She's smart.
The next thing I want to talk about is multitasking. I think that you all are doing multitasking, but do you really know like how people can do that? And do you think you can multitask?
Oh, definitely. I can tell
Yeah.
a wonderful story. So I'm doing this assignment on Latvian. It's about reading Plato's like
perfect.
Republic. Yeah. So I'm reading the Plato's Republic, and it's in Latvian. Also, I'm watching a TV show that's in English, and also, I broke off a relationship.
Actually, like, this is sad, yeah, but okay. Actually, like, we all know teacher Smiltana. We love her.
She the best.
She the best, yes. She told at one lesson that all women can multitask.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
But that's kind of stereotype. I will break it down for you right now.
Are you gonna like
Yeah.
tell that to teacher Smiltana?
Yeah, you talk to her.
Yeah.
Okay,
not
okay.
us.
Not
We
just
want to live.
women can multitask. Only from whole world can only 2% of people multitask. And you just thought that you are the only 2% of the whole universe who can multitask. Because
I'm actually disappointed.
when you're multitasking, you're doing a lot of things at the same time. So you're not doing one thing properly. So it will be kind of messy in your mind and you will not get this work that you're doing right now most efficiently. So it will be done, but not completely done as you wish it would be. And it will take much more time to do all these things together at once than one thing at a time.
Then what are we doing if not multitasking?
We're multitasking right now.
Yeah, that's one stereotype that was like, I was the same shock as you because I thought, yeah, I can also multitask. Who cannot? So, yeah, that was shock
That means
for
we're
me.
special.
Yeah? Who said that you cannot do it?
Exactly.
This
High five.
one
Jokes.
more thing I want to talk about is the physical health as it links to the mental. So, we are thinking, oh, physical health, so I need to get workout at least 1 hour a day. I need to, yeah, Patricia spilled the tea.
I'm not doing that.
No, the physical, it means like you're just having a walk, so you're working,
Oh.
working,
Then I'm
working.
doing
I work
that
out every day.
Yeah, you can think like that, but it makes your mind a little bit clearer. But the most best thing to do is to walk without music. So a lot of people are just walking or having a workout with the music, which is I think the main reason why everyone is overthinking some stuff that they shouldn't be worried about.
Yeah, but I use my music as to not overthink, because when I'm walking, I'm thinking, so like, cool, so what am I going to do? I'm going to do that. What's going to happen? That's going to happen.
And then your phone falls out. I saw it happen.
Don't expose me, okay?
So for you, it's better to listen music than just walking in silence or work out.
Yeah, because then music like distracts my thoughts.
You have very annoying thoughts then.
Yes.
Oh my god. Let's
So-
not get
But
started
it
on
depends.
that.
It depends. For me, it's better to, for example, if I go for a walk, it's better for me to go in silence. But if I have really like workout running, then I need to music to catch that beat.
The beat.
The beat.
Yeah, the next thing I have written down is lifestyle. What do you think about this? How can lifestyle affect some, I don't know, mental well-being or something like that? Patricia, you have something to say about it?
Lifestyle. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it to myself because it's not appropriate for YouTube.
Okay, I listed the two types of lifestyles, as good and as one as bad. So we are just thinking that we need to be in one type of or good or bad, but what you think is good, Nick maybe thinks, oh, it's not good at all. So
Yeah,
lifestyle
it
is
be like that.
affecting. Yeah, lifestyle is affecting our health. And one thing I tried but I didn't succeed is the meditation and yoga. for me, it's not working. For me, it's not working. For some people, it works.
Doing
So
yoga.
Yeah, let's do some yoga. Okay, stretch
Stretches.
your right hand. Go like the yes. You feeling relaxed? Yes, very
Oui,
nice.
oui.
Yes.
Yes.
The other hand, yes.
it's more complicated than I thought. Just exercises, you need to have these 6 points in a row. So you need to have this pose, this music, and just don't think about anything. But it's hard to not think.
Yeah.
Yes.
How can you not think?
It's like every time someone goes like, "Oh, just stop thinking," I'm like,
Yeah. The one more thing I have is life balance. So we all have these goals, dreams that we want to to succeed in the life. So maybe you have to graduate the school very good. Maybe you have to, I don't know, have family in 20 years or something like that. But we all life balance. I mean by that we need to make the priorities at the time. So, for example, for some people, priority at now is school, for some is family, for some is something else. So we need to keep that balance between our lives, our personal lives, our lives to succeed in our career, and also family, so we don't mess up all the things, so we will be like, what is going on in our lives? So
"That's how school happens."
Oh no.
that's the reason why it's very important to have priorities for some people to know what they're having at the time or they want to succeed. They're just writing it down at the list so they can understand and put the reminders all over the house. It's one of the examples. How can you do that? So the next thing I have is influence. Maybe you have something to say about this one.
Do we?
What kind of influence?
Yeah.
You see, it's the two type of influence. So it can be from people's opinion, and social media now is
Ooh,
really
yeah.
popping. So it can affect us really good or really bad. It depends on person.
Yeah, that's why you should only follow profiles on Instagram and other socials that like don't give you content that's like hateful, just like, "Oh, you know, if you have like red hair, you suck." Yeah.
Does anybody do that actually?
Well,
Like,
not like literally, but like there are people who are like
hate
like sorting things,
profiles.
or just like, you know, saying that, "Oh yeah, you know, this is not okay." Like, well, someone's
but there's
like,
some guidelines to that actually, no?
not really. Like you
No?
can, yeah, you can have like memes that are like rude, and they probably won't get taken down because, haha, it's just a meme.
That actually is like so sad.
Yeah, and I also think that you just put the social media
Yeah.
influence out there, and I also want to add something about the influence on people in our daily lives. So I think mostly the teenagers who doesn't have the strength, they think they having this opinion from their parents, from the school, the friends that they have. So at the end of the day, just confused what they want to do, or I don't know what clothes to wear and something like that, and it's getting messier every time.
Yeah, but it's very common to, if your opinion is influenced by your parents, because they're like the first people who are your role models, because like, "Oh, look at mom, she's so cool, she's doing everything," or like, "Look at dad," or like, "Look at any other authority figure." And like you have this mindset where you're just like, "Okay, so they're cool, that means I have to be cool, that means I have to be like them." And then it's just like you take up those values, and as a child you don't really know if they're good or bad.
True, but a lot of people have a lot of role models, and they're just being like
Like just trying to make them happy.
That's why I just have one role model, Taylor Swift.
Oh my god.
Okay, and the last thing I wanted to talk about is the relationships importance and volunteering work. Have you done volunteering work?
I did
Yes.
that once.
All the time.
What did you do?
I was like at this event, and I was just like helping people, moving stuff around, and like telling people where to go, and handing out like these things to sign.
And how did you feel after you volunteered?
I felt cool. I got like a bunch of free pens.
That's really great. And you, Patricia?
Oh, I've been a volunteer at multiple camps, like eco forums and stuff like that. Yeah, that's like my volunteer experience.
That's really cool because I touched this topic because people and mental health with the love and relationships and volunteering work is really linked together, because when you're having a good relationships, your well-being and mental health is boosting, so you're happier when you have the people who love you, who support you no matter what. And research has shown that after volunteering work, people usually are happier more, so you can help someone and be more happier. So I also did volunteering work in a sculpture festival here in Jelgava. It was the last year. It was really fun. And also last year I went to Košice and we helped a lot of places. We were helping some people, we were helping some shops to do, and it was really fun. So that's the last reason which affecting mental health. And if you want to improve it, just pick yourself up and go do some volunteering and have friends and family who support you.
Or go to a therapist. By the way, the music used in this episode is freemusic.archive.org, and exactly the pieces used are Chad Crouch, Rainbow, Chad Crouch, Creative Writing, and Scott Holmes, Hot Shot.
Yeah, it's sad that it's time for us to end this episode. We could talk about these issues like more and more and more, but our time is limited. And thank you everyone for talking about these issues, and thank you for listening to our episode, and tune in next time.